That missing Malaysian Airlines plane with 239 people aboard has been dominating the news this week, of course. And when major stories like that or a random act of violence are in the news, it can be really scary.
But this morning, we have a reality check that's just maybe something to ease your fears. Elizabeth Lombardo is a clinical psychologist, and Lori Gerber is a life coach with the Handel Group. Good morning to you both. Listen, fear is natural. We can't run from it, but how we deal with it is the key, Dr. Lombardo.
Absolutely, absolutely. We get to choose what we do with that. There's a lot of bad news out there. What are we going to focus on? What are we going to concentrate on? We get to choose, so let's choose wisely.
And it's natural. Embrace it.
It's natural, and especially with the unpredictability. When things happen over which we have no control, that can cause a sense of learned helplessness, which increases our distress and fear more.
All right, Lori, and you say it's important to look at some of these statistics because, for example, the chance of dying in a flight, in an airplane crash, according to the National Safety Council, 1 in 7,229. That includes non-commercial flights, by the way, which are a lot more dangerous, as we know. So important to kind of keep things in perspective.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, logic tells us that we are way more likely to die because of bad eating habits or unhealthy behaviors that we are in full control of. So the fact that we're worrying about things that are very, very unlikely is not actually good logic.
Yeah. And Dr. Lombardo, you said it's important to watch what we put into our brains and our thoughts. That's not to say don't watch the news. You should, but how do you... I mean, what, I guess, else you surround yourself with?
What else you surround yourself, especially right before we go to bed, right? A lot of people watch the news, turn it off, and then go to sleep. Fill your brain with something more positive after the news, whether it's reading something, meditating, or even spending some time with that person next to you.
And also, next, Lori, you say worrying is counterproductive. It really is about shifting your focus.
Part of our problem as human beings is we confuse worrying for doing something. Right? It feels like we're being useful, so we engage in it, but actually it diverts our attention from what we care about, right? What we should be doing is calling someone or meeting someone in person that we love, because these fears remind us that we love, we care.
Meeting them in person and not on Facebook with emoticons is key here. But what about superstitions? You know, people surround their fears by that. I won't get on the elevator to go to the 13th floor. I won't walk under a ladder. All of these things.
Yeah. And I call it umbrella syndrome, right? If I bring my umbrella, it's not going to rain. If I worry about it, then it's not going to happen. That's not true at all.
I think a lot of people experience, of course, elevated levels of stress every day as well. So sometimes it's stress, your overall stress level that's playing into it, and it enhances the fears, right?
Yeah, because when we're stressed out, we go from seeing everything to seeing just the negative. We call it negative filtering in psychology. So address your stress proactively and reactively. Proactively, every single day, include something in your regimen to reduce your stress. And then reactively, when you notice it going up, take steps to reduce it too.
And Laura, you say focus on gratitude. I think that's great, especially if you have children, because it's easy for kids not to learn that lesson and fall into the cycle we adults have.
The great thing about being human is you can change your thoughts. You can choose your thoughts. You can press a pause button and decide what you want to think about. And you cannot be thinking about how much you love your children or how much you love your family or how much you love your friends or what you're going to do today that's going to be great, and also be worrying at the same time.
Yeah, live in the moment and gratitude. Love it. Elizabeth Lombardo, thank you so much. Lori Gerber, appreciate it.